Welcome to this dramatic therapy monologue. Listen to this meditation with an open mind and heart. In between each part, focus on your breath. Start now by inhaling deeply through your nose and slowly exhaling through your mouth. Then gently turn your attention to the natural rhythms of your breath. Some days, I wake up and for a moment, I forget my age. I forget the number anyway. I just feel my pillow's warmth and the soft ache in my shoulder. I feel oddly young in these seconds. There is hope then, a mischievous kind. My name is Margot. I am 55 years old. When I was a girl, I watched my mother hide her hair with scarves, pretend not to mind her joints creaking, pretend not to want new adventures. She was only 54 when she stopped writing her poetry. I thought that was normal, expected. When I was 20, I promised myself, secretly and very quietly, that I would never ever become that woman in the scarf. You might laugh, but I still think about that promise on tough mornings. Now I am 55, and the world has changed. Or perhaps I have changed. I have 2 grown children who can barely sit still long enough to ask about my day, a husband who listens to podcasts about spacecraft crashes in the kitchen, and a job I kept half out of pride and half out of necessity. Sometimes I lie awake at 3 a.m. and wonder if I am running out of time. My mother's voice whispers that I might be, and then the second, more dangerous voice whispers that I should accept it. Wind down, stop making noise, let things go. Surrender to the slow unwinding. But when I walk, I notice things. A woman in my neighborhood started a business last year, after her 60th birthday. My friend Marion just got her doctorate at 59. Everywhere, quietly but unmistakably, I see people my age, older even, stretching into what was always called the years of decline, and utterly refusing to decline. I count them. Entrepreneurs, artists, lovers, activists. I wonder, am I the only one who almost missed this revolution? The story is so heavy, you see. The one about the inevitable slide. It sits in my bones like tired sap, like the leftovers of someone else's boredom. And the core of it, the real trouble, is this. I believed the story because somewhere along the way, I let my own story shrink. I stopped writing new chapters. I stayed in jobs I disliked. I made tea for people who never asked about my dreams. I thought the years for reinvention, or risk, or rage and celebration were over. because that is what I was told. I see now that it was never true. I know this in my body. I have no great illnesses, at least not yet. My joints hurt, but medical magic has me running again on good days. My mind is sharp, sharper in some ways than it ever was at 30. I want more. I want more than survival. But the story fights. It tells me this longing is foolish, that wanting more is embarrassing at my age, that I should stop wanting so loudly or wanting at all. I remember, aged 15, my teacher telling me not to raise my hand so often, told me I was overwhelming, too much. I turned down my volume then and there, became smaller to fit into someone else's comfort. It is easier, I learned, to fit the shape of the box than argue with the box. These are the lessons that stay, unless you drag them out by their roots. That timid girl. She would never believe that I now give keynote speeches at conferences, that I dare to write poems on the backs of receipts when I am overwhelmed. But I still hear her, that shy student, warning me to play small. Every time I feel wildness or hunger or the tug of wanting something real, she whispers that 55 is too late for more. Sit tight, sit still. This is my crisis. Sometimes I believe her. Sometimes, late at night, the quiet terrifies me. So much of my life is behind me. Yes, the world says people in their 50s are more productive. The researchers publish new graphs. But inside, the crisis is not so much data as it is the ache in my chest, the sense that any attempt to reinvent myself is laughable. Who would listen? Who would care? I am trapped between the world I see, full of older warriors blazing trails, and the child's voice that tells me too late, too late, too late. And the hardest part? I am exhausted by the story of running out of time. Grief for years wasted, for courage left unused. Fear that any wild leap now will end in embarrassment or failure. Shame. Shame is a shadow in my room, and it has my old teacher's voice. But then something happens, the smallest thing. I remember the promise to myself, made decades ago, to never hide under scarves, to never stop wanting new things. I breathe. I look at the women ahead of me, blazing bright, and I remember that they too must have felt shame, maybe terror, maybe have heard that same voice that told them to play small. Yet they kept going. And when I remember this, a new possibility starts to grow, as quietly as wild mint in a city gutter. The myth I see is not in my body, or the numbers, or the crow's feet in the mirror. The myth is only the story. All this time, only the story. There is no law that says the second half of life must be smaller than the first. There is no real reason I cannot create, or risk, or fall in love again with the world, just as deeply as I did at 25. The story is what is dangerous, not the age. I can tell myself a new story, a story of blooming, not withering. A story where 55 is not an ending, but a beginning. The data says so. The faces of women I admire say so. My own mind's hunger, still burning, says so. So I inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth. I say quietly, I will not shrink to fit someone else's legend. This is my revolution. These are my years of wild productivity, wild love, new learning, new art, new dances in uncomfortable shoes. For as long as I have breath, I will write new chapters. The truth is simple. I am only just beginning to ascend. This is not a cliche. This is a birthright. And for you, listening now, believing yourself to be winding down, please look at all your years ahead. You have at least as much time now as you did from college to middle age. You could do anything, start anything, feel anything. You are no less alive than you ever were. You are so much more, with far more to give. Let us not surrender to stories written by fear. Let us outgrow them. Let us risk new mistakes, new joys, new work, new love. Let us be grateful for bodies that still move and minds that still spark. Let us not let other people's old legends become our calendars. Let us become the people who write new legends for the next girl, the next woman, the next wild soul hiding behind her own old story. Start now. Welcome to your beginning. Listen, breathe, and begin to imagine. What if this is the start of everything you have been waiting for?